Hey y'all, Oregon Dipper here. Doing a dip review for some got here Copenhagen Wintergreen pouches. So anybody who's seen some of my videos before um, know that Copenhagen Wintergreen was kind of my daily for a long time. I thought it was the shit when it first came out, and me and all my buddies were all about it. So I like Copenhagen Wintergreen. I think I always will, but um, never really, um, never really mess with the pouches much. I'm not really into the pouches. I guess I can see why people chew pouches. For example, if you're at a place where you want to chew but you can't really spit. I mean, throw a pouch in at a basketball game or something. But anyway, crack this sucker open and try her out. Sorry if I'm talking kind of quiet. My parents are sleeping. And it looks like I'm really see. No, I'm not high. I'm just tired. It's late. It's been a long day. So, pouch is in there, nice and moist. You know what? Screw it. One is not enough. Two is better. Definitely, you gotta go with two. I mean, one just doesn't cut it. So, anyway, I wanted to talk about, sorry, some other stuff too. Um, I wanted to start making YouTube videos. I was inspired by a lot of people doing them. I thought it was pretty cool, and just to see people, other people out there that make videos, or people that watch my videos, or and comment, and actually not the assholes out there, people that actually have nice things to say, or people that you know are giving you advice on stuff. I'm new to this whole thing, so what? I don't have a problem taking advice from anybody, um, and I appreciate people giving me advice. Um, so I was going to talk a little bit. I don't like to really get into my personal life too much, but I feel like it's only fair for people out there who are going to subscribe to my channel and just kind of know a little bit about who I am. Um, I don't need to go into my address or anything, but pouches feel strange. Um, but I think that's only fair to kind of know who you're subscribing to. So, my name's Derek. I'm 24 years old. Was born and raised in um, Northwest Oregon on the coast. Um, I guess some of you guys from Georgia and Tennessee and all that stuff, you guys are gonna say, "Oh, he's from Oregon. He's not country, whatever." But no, we're definitely country here. Where the community that I live in is a logging town. Um, I guess I'd be a third generation logger. My dad is um, a civil engineer. Um, worked in the woods his whole life. He owns um, a, a civil engineering business. Works as a land surveyor. So that's what I do for a living, the land surveying assistant. So we get to work out in the woods a lot, um, doing what we call blazing trees and stuff like that, where we'll mark the property lines for the fallers to come in and cut the trees and tell them where the boundaries are at, where they can cut, where they can't cut, stuff like that. But I'm a coastie. Um, around here there's a lot of surfers. It's very like there's a fine line. There's the total like hippie side of town, where it's all surfing and pot smoking and all that stuff, and then there's the other side of town where it's not the beach town. It's more of the kind of old town, Astoria, Oregon. Um, and I live kind of in between, so it's a really logging town. This town was built um, on the timber industry, um, and fishing. It's a fishing town also. Um, my So a little bit about my history. Um, my grandpa was a fisherman. He drowned 7 days before I was born, actually, to the day. In a fishing accident. His boat capsized. Um, which is a bummer because I probably would have been. I love fishing. You know, he had a 90-foot fishing boat. Um, so I feel like if he was still alive, I'd be doing that. Um, but instead, I work in the woods and I'm cool with that. I love it. I love being outdoors. I can never sit behind a desk or have an office job, nothing like that. It's just not my thing. Um, it's the kind of person I am. I'm not a, I'm not perfect. Um, I've definitely done some stupid shit. I'm 24. I've lived enough of a life where you know I've have just a little bit of a criminal record. I got in some trouble back in 2012. Um, just right before I turned 21, drinking with my buddies out in the woods. What we call, I don't know what you guys call it in down south, but we call it loopers, where we'll you know drink as much beer as we can and drive around the logging roads and hopefully not crash out an embankment. But I learned the hard way that it's really not that cool. It's a lot easier to drink beer at home or drink beer in the woods and pitch a tent. But anyway, I got a DUI. Um, got my license suspended. Oregon actually has, believe it or not, the strictest DUI. Um, uh, I don't know if we want to call it laws or regulations than any other state in the U.S. as far as DUIs go. I blew the legal limit, I think, in every state is a .08. I have a commercial driver's license, and that's a .04. It's the legal limit. Um, I got stupid. I was driving home, and I was driving home from the bar, and this taxi cab driver tells me, "Hey, you want a ride?" I'm like, "No, my truck's right here. I'm fine." He's like, "You sure you don't need a ride?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I can drive." And he kind of looked at me funny, and I got a funny feeling, but I didn't think much of it. Hopped in my truck and got a few miles down the road. I had my bright lights on because it was 12:30 in the morning. There's Highway 101. It's the main highway that goes from top of Washington all the way to Southern California. But the stretch that part of the town that we live in, um, there's no cars on the highway. It's just a dark highway, and I was between towns, so it was in the middle of kind of nowhere. And I was just on the edge of town, headed towards my house, on my brights on, and cop drives by, and immediately turns around. I'm like, shit. And I knew that I was drinking, and sure enough, he let me up and pulled over, and first thing he asked was, well, turns out that the taxi cab driver called me in. Big surprise. So, cop asked me, he goes, "You've been drinking?" And I'm an honest person, I'm not a liar. I just told him, yeah, I had 3 drinks. And make a long story short, I did a field sobriety test, I passed it, and he asked if I could blow. And I'm like, sure, I'll do the test. I did it. Shit, I blew a .084. And I said, come on, man. Can you give me like 5 more minutes or something? He's like, yeah, if you blow under in 5 minutes, I'll let it slide. Because the cop actually, it's a small town. We all know each other. And he actually felt bad, 'cause I wasn't stumbling drunk or anything like that. But I blew again. I blew .082. So make a long story short, I got a DUI. And 3 months later, I went to court, and turns out the judge that I had that that had was in charge of my case lost a daughter to a drunk driver back in '97. So, needless to say, I got hammered, and I got a 3-year license suspension for a first offense DUI. Um, never been in trouble in my life at that point, and I got a 3-year license suspension, and I've got a Chevy Silverado half ton, pretty nice truck, you know. I mean, it's not brand new, but I like it, you know. I'm not the kind of person where I gotta drive a nice truck to impress people, you know. I don't really care what anybody else thinks, you know. Um, I don't live off welfare, you know. I work, I work hard for my money. I work 5 days a week, you know. I made a stupid mistake, and I drank and drove. So one thing I want, you know, to make clear on this video is that there's nothing cool about about drinking and driving. Um, you know, so that's one thing I want everybody to know, especially the younger people that watch my video. And I'm sure there's younger guys out there, people 14, 15 that drink or starting to drink. You know, if you get your license or whatever, if you're underage, and everybody's gonna drink underage, you know, that's just what people do. Just don't drive. You know, it's not worth it, because they say that you can drive impaired 500 times. This is an actual statistic. 500 times before you get caught. And I can tell you that I've driven impaired a lot without getting caught. A lot, many times. And in a way, as screwed up as it sounds, I'm kind of glad that I did get caught, because I could have hurt somebody, you know. And you never think when you're driving and you're intoxicated, you never think that you're drunk, you know. You're only a little bit buzzed, but you know, you're over the limit, and that's that. So there's nothing cool about drinking and driving. If you're gonna drink, drink, but don't drive. Um, I'll tell you right now, you're gonna get caught. Whether you know, it might be 5 years, but you're gonna get caught. And when you do, you're gonna regret it. Um, I learned the hard way. I get my license back in January, and when I do, I have to have what they call SR22 insurance, which, because of my history now with DUI, which was a $6,000 fine to be exact. So it was $6,250 for a first offense DUI fine, and 18 months of bench probation. And so in January, basically half of my paycheck, get paid once a month. A good chunk of that's going to go just for my insurance to insure my truck. And I have to have that for, I think, 3 years. And I have to complete a victim's impact panel and all that stuff. And just telling you guys, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth taking somebody's life, whether you think that it's never going to happen to you. Um, it will. You know, I lost my best friend's dad, got killed um, a week after I got I got a DUI. Actually, about a mile from my house on Highway 101, and that was a big eye opener for me. And the ironic part is when I got um, convicted, I had to do a couple days in jail, and it's hard to even talk about when they opened up the jail cell, and it was a like an open pod where there's 14 other people. We have a county jail which just holds like 60 people. It's not that big. So, make a long story short, they opened up that door, and the guy that killed my best friend's dad was standing right there in front of me. I saw him, and I had to be in there with him for, I think it was 2.5 days, and it was all I could do without wanting to, strangle the guy. But I was just as guilty. I just didn't kill somebody. And I remember telling my best friend that, saying, hey, I don't know what to tell you, but I screwed up big time, and I could have been that guy that killed your dad. So it was a big eye opener for me. So just a little bit of history about me. I'm a country guy, but I I disobeyed the laws a few times, and I learned the hard way. Um, I don't have good luck. I get caught when I do, so figured out. You just obey the laws and don't drink and drive. Don't do anything stupid. It's not worth it. Um, Especially in a small town where you know everybody knows my truck. Everybody knows me. So yeah. So back to the wintergreen pouches. Um, they're alright. I don't know. I feel like I can put the whole fucking can in my mouth, and they're definitely not something that I would go for. I'd buy them if I was in a place, like I said before, where you don't really, where you can't really spit, because I mean I can, I don't know how to explain it. I guess I don't get much spit in my mouth when I'm chewing these, but excuse me, they're not bad. They taste fine, but I don't, not something that I would definitely chew every day. So that's the review on the Copenhagen wintergreen pouches and some history about me. Um, so anyway, like I said, I'm new to all this, and a lot of you guys, especially all the dipper this, dipper that, all you guys subscribe to everybody I can, and you guys crack me up, and I can relate to a lot of what you guys talk about. And anyway, drop a comment, and tell me, give me some advice, and tell me what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, or what you want me to talk about. Um, I don't mind. I'll do some challenges. I don't give a shit. Down for whatever. So drop a comment, subscribe to my channel, and go from there. So anyway, hope you guys have a good night, and I will see y'all soon. Oregon Dipper out.